We're here at the Pop Awesome Media Studio with Casino. How's life in 2021, man?
Man, you know what? Life in 2021 is actually pretty good. Been very productive, been back out on the scene, getting a lot of things done. After taking a nice little break, it's just nice to be back out there. Been doing a lot of shows, getting this album done. Nice reviews on the mixtape, so I can't complain.
So let's go back to the beginning. Where are you originally from?
I was born in Houston. I lived in Houston till I was about 2, maybe 3 years old. My parents split up and my mother and I moved here to Austin. So I've pretty much been in and out of Austin since then. I've spent the majority of my life here, but I've lived all over the place too. I lived in California for a little while, 2 different times. I've lived in Houston, of course. I lived in Odessa, Corpus Christi, all over Texas. And I even lived in Massachusetts for a hot minute, so I've been around.
I detect a mixture of some Southern along with like a little bit of Cali.
Oh, yeah.
I detect a little bit of that Cali, so I can see definitely. What part?
I spent most of my time in Cali. I was in Sacramento for a little while, and then I was in the Bay Area. I was in the Bay Area. Man, love the Bay Area. That's actually when I started doing music, as far as rapping. When I started rapping, I was in California at the time. And so when we moved back here when I was in high school, that's when I really started like getting out there doing shows and that part of it. But as far as the writing and when I first started really cutting, writing bars and trying to rap, I was in California.
Interesting. Did you play any sports?
A little bit. I played a lot of, I love football. I played a lot of football growing up. I played football all through elementary, the Pop Warner stuff. Played in middle school. When we got to high school, though, everybody got that next growth spurt around 9th, 10th grade. I didn't get that, so I was like, well, all right, we're going to do this music thing a little bit more. So,
What position?
Really, I was a running back because I was short, low center of gravity, but I could run real good. I was good at, getting through the holes, and it was hard for people to tackle me. So, I enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, but
halfback.
Them boys are big on that D line.
Oh yeah. Which is why I went on to the music.
That's hilarious. What was the first artist you listened to that stood out and made you a fan?
Wow, man. All right, so you're gonna laugh. There was 3. Right, so the 3 main ones I really remember. The first tape I ever bought was Fat Boys.
Okay.
Remember the Fat Boys?
Yeah.
I was in elementary school, and that was the first tape that I bought. I remember my grandma gave me some money, and I went and bought the Fat Boys tape. So I remember that. Next would probably be I was real big into Will Smith. I like Will Smith a lot. So that first album, he's the rapper, I'm the DJ, or I'm the rapper, he's the DJ. I bought that. And then as far as now those were, you just kind of like listening to it and they were funny songs. But as far as the first rapper that I was just really into, where I started really listening to lyrics and dissecting lyrics was Ice Cube. And he was a huge influence on me. I started listening to him probably when I was in the 6th grade or so. I'd heard a lot, at that point, rap was pretty much all over the place. I was in Houston, but he was one of the first lyricists I just started really getting deep into, and where I just really liked his lyrics. I liked his storytelling ability. He was a huge influence on, especially my early career.
Wrote all the NWA stuff.
Yes, yeah,
all of it. If not just 98%, if not, to the lead.
Wrote Dr. Dre's most of Dre's verses, wrote most of Eazy's verses. I believe he wrote dang near all the hooks on that first NWA album. He wrote a lot of the hooks on Eazy-E's first solo album. He's respected, don't get me wrong, but I think even by my generation, and especially the generation now, they don't give him enough credit for what he really, he was the wordsmith behind all of it, you know what I mean? So
I always say that enough. I'm dang, they just exclude Ice Cube off a lot.
Absolutely.
Crazy to me. So Are those the three that's what got you into music?
No. What's funny, what really got me into music was my grandmother. My grandma was like heavy in the church, right? Southern Baptist, went to church like 3 times a week. So I lived with her, and her thing was, well, you know, you're going to church, you're going to do something in the church. So what I decided was, well, I didn't want to be an usher. They got to stand up all day. I don't want to do that. There were a few other things I didn't want to do, but I was like, okay, well, I'll do music, right? At first, she wanted me to be in the choir, but when I saw they had a band, so well, let me learn how to do some of that. So I learned how to play the guitar, then I learned how to play the piano. I learned how to play a few different musical instruments, and from there, later, that's when I got into actually trying to rap and make beats and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you could play multiple instruments, so that's always good too. That's good. You can apply that now. You can always apply.
Oh yeah.
I would just pick that up and then use it, and, you know, do your own beats if you need to, whatever the case may be. So that's
reading sheet music, lost talent. You know, a lot of people. I mean, I think if you're in band or, you know, actual, you know, playing instruments, you know how to. But it blows me away how many even producers that I meet that don't know how to read sheet music because they just play by ear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I played saxophone back way back for a couple of years, so I know how to read a little bit.
Yeah.
So what gave you, like, did somebody give you, or what made you go with the name Casino for your artist name?
I went by another moniker. So when I moved back to Austin, when did I move back to Austin? I moved back like 94, and I was going to Reagan. I was going to Reagan High School, and kind of a side tangent. When I went to Reagan, it was it's amazing that this happened, in my opinion. But I went there, Nook went there, Dashade went there, Anastasia Hera went there. Mm-hmm. We all were at Reagan at the same time.
Dang.
Yeah, and I got introduced to Nook. And he was the first person I met on a underground level that was like out there really doing it. You know, I was trying to write raps and stuff like that, and kind of looking at the big, you know, MTV, BET, all of that stuff. But he was the first person I actually met where I was like, wow, you know, you out here really rapping. And he was in school like me. At the time, I had gotten a show on KZI 88.7. And I had a show on there called Teen Scene, and it was a 2-hour show, and we would just, you know, like play music, talk about local current events, stuff like that. And so I started meeting a lot of other rappers through doing that in Nook. And I won't say what I went by at the time, but when I decided I wanted to really try going into rapping, you know, Nook was like, oh, you should change your name, come up with a cool name. And then back then I was like real into being flashy. I used to have a lot of jewelry and, you know, thought I was fly, all of that stuff. And so my original name was Casino the Baller.
That's funny because everybody got that one rapper name that they like, you know, that they've had before, like the very first one they come with, always terrible.
Yeah, just terrible.
Terrible. They don't
exactly.
tell nobody what it is. Oh, I had a name called this. Oh, you went with that?
Yeah. So over the years, like pretty quickly, I dropped the baller part, but Casino stayed, and you know, I've ran with it, man, like since 1996, pretty much.
I see you got another AKA, the Partyville Mayor.
Partyville Mayor.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's it.
What about that one?
Oh man, so. That's kind of like, you know, I remember Wu-Tang, they all had a bunch of different names, you know, like, so that's kind of what that is. Like, I'm still Casino, but Partyville Mayor came about, literally I was drunk, okay, like straight up, I was drunk. We were in the studio and we were joking around, I had been at South by Southwest that week, and I was with these people from a record label. I can't even remember what label it was. And we were going down the street, and like every so often, people would stop and be like, "Hey, Casino, what's up?" And like he was like, "Man, you know everybody." He was like, are you in politics or something?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm the mayor." And so it just kind of stuck from there. And I was like, "Yeah, you're in my city, Partyville. I'm the Partyville mayor." And yeah, it just, there you go.
It's always funny when it's just something organic like that. You know,
Yeah.
I'm the man, Partyville man, book it. Stamp it. That's the name. We going with it. No alter ego.
And from there, you know, I just started kind of saying it on songs here and there. And it just kind of took a life of its own after a while. And it was just like, I looked up and it was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Let's run with it.
That is hilarious. That's funny. So it's funny to see how names come up with, names get come up with. I know you're the leader of the Frat House Gang.
Yeah.
A really popular hip hop group out here. Talk about the history. How did it get started?
So, you know, I've been in multiple groups over the years. I had been in a handful of groups leading up to that. Frat House Gang came about, though, it was just people I was already working with in some capacity. Like either we did a lot of features together, or in the case of Chef, I was already recording with him. So he was like my engineer already at that point. So what happened was we would always find ourselves at shows together, you know, because at that time you had a few spots where you could go out and, you know, a few local spots where you could go and perform. And we were just always ended up being on the same shows, and we all featured on each other's stuff. So it would literally be like, Super would go up and perform, and it'd be like 3 of us, and then Chef might perform and be another 3 of us, and so it was just like, hey, well, let's just put this together. And so that's kind of how it happened. I've always been good at large groups, so yeah, it was just this large collective of it started off primarily as rappers, but after a while then we had producers in the mix, graphic artists, engineers, video people, and it just turned into this really huge thing. Right now it's kind of scaled back. Life happens, you know, people go through their phases in life and whatnot, so it's a smaller group of us now, but yeah, still a lot of fun, and we still get a lot of things done.
Okay, cool. Because that was gonna be the next question. You know, how is the Frat Gang? So you basically answered it. So yeah, that's good, man. That's good. I mean, I always like the cipher that y'all put together.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I still watch that. You know, probably a few times, 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Just go back, watch it, because it just comes up with my recommendations. So I'm like,
yeah, let's watch it again.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. Y'all did y'all's thing.
Hey, appreciate it.
Let's see. Oh, okay. You're known for putting out some of the most comedic videos out there. So let's talk about the creative process.
All right.
And how you come up with the treatments for the videos.
Okay. I literally will just ride around and I'm just playing music, right? Like my best ideas come from when I'm just riding around. I might be going to work or coming to a show, going to the studio, who knows, whatever, right? You know, whatever. And it'll usually start with just like a simple image will pop up in my head. So let's say, for instance, Black Republican, right? I immediately, the first thing I saw was me just looking like one of the, you know, cheesy Republicans at the podium and have the Secret Service. And from there, boom. All right, that's the idea. Let's run with that. I work with a lot of really good directors and people that I trust, like Eric Sadler, Envy from Envision, Jose Nahar. Oh my God, Hyder. There's so many different people that I've worked with. And literally, so I can have an idea and it's like, hey, here's the idea. And we just kind of build from there and it goes. As far as them being comedic, I think that kind of came secondary. Because if you go back and look at a lot of my older videos, like from when I was in Gutter Gang and LOP in particular, those videos were more, I guess, Well, with the exception of LOP, my earlier videos were more, stereotypical kind of rap videos, right? And not that there's anything wrong with those groups. We were just younger, so we were just kind of trying to get in with what was going on. But I guess I got bored with that, and it was like, well, everybody does that, Everybody get a bunch of people, go in their hood and just jump around and shoot a video, right? And just rapping at the camera. Or everybody goes and gets a bunch of half-naked girls, and in the video, I don't know if I can cuss, but it just turns into, ass-shaking video, right? And don't get me wrong, I like ass and shaking, but like, I got more that I could do than that.
But you can see that everywhere. You're like,
absolutely.
So many different places. I mean, they were doing that back with BET Untitled.
Man.
So,
Absolutely. And even before that, you go back to Luke Skywalker and the 2 Live Crew, 95 South, 69 Boys, all of that, right?
Yeah.
So it's nothing new.
Nothing new.
So as I started progressing forward, I was like, how can I get somebody to keep coming back and watching this video, right? You make it funny. Or you put interesting elements in there that where somebody will come back and be like, man, I missed that last time. I didn't see that. Like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then they'll tell other people, and it just kind of spreads that way. So that's how that happened.
Outside the frat house gang, who's some of your favorite artists to listen to out here in Austin?
Here in Austin? Let's see. Current ones that are like out doing their thing right now. I really like Weekdays. From Dashlow. I like him a lot. Certified. I like Certified a whole lot. He's fun to work with. His flows are fun. He's got really cool ideas for his songs. I like working with him, but I like listening to him as well. There's a young guy, Young Bryce. I like listening to him a lot. He's kind of coming up. He was recently featured in the Chronicle Top 20 Rappers. Young dude, but he's nice. He's got some nice lyrics on him. Let's see. Man. Oh, Anastasia. Man. I cannot give her the highest praise. Like, people have a tendency to be like, oh yeah, she's my favorite female rapper. She's like one of my top 5 rappers, period.
Rapper.
Like male, female, local, out of mainstream. Man, she's a beast. Love listening to her music. As far as like now, if we go dig into the crates, some other ones are, Y2. I like Y2 a lot. I really like his production. But he has a very interesting his style is kind of unorthodox now. And a lot of the stuff he does is just he's definitely in his own lane. And I like that. He's somebody I've known for a long time. So I like listening to his old stuff and his new stuff. I also like Kid Jones a lot. I've known him for a long time as well, watching him grow from where he started with Impact to where he's at today. It's like, that's been amazing watching his growth. He's somebody I really enjoy his music as well. Some older artists from Austin that I really enjoyed, Nook. Nook definitely had a run here in Austin where he was probably the guy with as far as coming out of Austin rap music. He had some really, really strong pivotal years, and he's actually gearing back up with some new stuff now that I've heard, bits and pieces of. It's really good. OG Fatal, loved his older music. Man, there's so many groups that I've worked with and just like seen do their thing. I could go on and on. Like as far as like, I'm probably, if I ever did,
I know you don't want to forget nobody.
Yeah, but I could be like a Austin rap historian. There's so many groups that used to do good stuff here, man.
Real though, that's definitely. So there's a lot of talented artists out here like you. Quentin FN, Chiquita B, CP Looney, just to name a few.
Oh, yeah.
What would it take for you guys to break international instead of being just regional?
I think what you're seeing Quinn and CP Looney doing right now is pretty much what needs to be done, right? Heavy push in the digital realm. I mean, you go look at Quinn's YouTube page, the views are like ridiculous, and growing exponentially. Same thing with CP. Just a really good hard push online and really good marketing. So really what they're doing is what any of us need to do here, myself included. And that's something that I've been had to kind of retrain my brain on, because I'm from the days where you just pull up, pop the trunk, boom, boom, boom. So I've really had to kind of rewire my brain. Yeah. So I've had to rewire my brain, and I've learned a lot by watching those guys. CP's manager, Coach Ty, I'm cool with, and he's given me a lot of good game. So that's really the key piece, is really hard strategic digital marketing. From there, once you get in those lanes to where people are looking at you, show the fuck out. And so far, it seems like that's what they're doing. Their shows are on point, and that's kind of what I pride myself on as well. Like, you come see me perform, you gonna get a show. You're gonna walk away entertained.
And shout out to Coach Ty, Life of Ty, streaming on Pop Austin Media. Go check him out. Good dude. Like what he's doing out here. Okay, interesting. How is it balancing being a father and being an artist?
Oh, man. Hardest thing I've ever done. Especially, I had some runs earlier in my career where I mentioned Gutta Gang. So Gutta Gang and we were like, I think one year we did like 230 something shows in 1 year.
Dang.
We were everywhere. Anybody that came through Austin, we opened up for them. We performed in Atlanta. We performed all over Texas. We performed all along the Gulf Coast. And my kids were little at that time. So I had to learn a lot about, okay, well, you still have to be able to come back and spend that time. You can't make it where it's just this all-encompassing thing. You have to learn how to really, what's the word I'm looking for? Multitask. And it took a while to really learn that. Now, I think at this point in my life, well, one, my kids are a little older, but not only that, through doing this for so long, I've gotten really good at it. So it's like, okay, from 9 to 5, or no, from like 9 to 12, dad. 12 to 5, music. 5 to 10, dad. After 10, hats off until the morning.
Exactly. It's hilarious. But yeah, it's a good way to do it. Just like you said, be able to differentiate the two, because you got to go in and out.
Absolutely.
In and out.
Absolutely.
In and out of dad mode, but you're always in dad mode, but then you got to go full.
Right. You got to be, it's just like if you're a manager of a business, right? Or if you own a business, at any moment your phone could go off and, oh, all right, I got to put that hat back on, right? So that's kind of like the dad thing. But when I'm off, hey, okay, that's when I go do all the other things that I want or need to do.
Exactly. Corona shut down the world in 2020. How was your experience?
Good and bad. Good. It leveled the playing field. In this sense, everybody had to stop doing shows, right? Everybody had to stop going out. So for a person like myself, who was just really getting back into music, because I took a 5-year break. I don't know if y'all knew that. I took a break. So from 2015 till right at the end of 2019, I hadn't done music. I just took a break. So I was just getting back in. Now, before I took my break, the internet was already, of course, all involved in everything. So it was really hard to get heard. I forgot the number. I was reading something, but there's over 100,000 songs get uploaded to Spotify a day.
Oh yeah, there's like 100,000 artists that
Right.
being even new artists. It's just it's insanity.
It's insane. So what the good thing that coronavirus did was, when you're ripping and running all day, going to work, doing this, that, or the other, you tend to just listen to the same things. So what Corona did was it made people slow down and it widened the net, right? So now they're listening to more things. So if you're a person like myself who's got a lot of hustle and is grinding and working, it increases the chance of you hearing me now because you're sitting at home now and you're listening to more, right? So that was a good thing about it. Also, it for me with some things I went through and then that happening, it was just like, never know what's going to come and knock us out of here. Never know what's going to come and wipe you out of here and you're gone, right? So I might as well do what the hell I like to do and do what I love to do. So it also just kind of stoked a fire in me, just like, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, so I'm going to go balls to the wall. The bad, me and Super made this badass album, Afrofuturistic. Go listen to it. But couldn't shoot videos, couldn't go out and promote it the way we really wanted to. There was a lot of things we couldn't do until the tail end. So the album had been out 8 months and then we're scrambling trying to shoot some videos. So it's got its good and its bad. So, we're trying to get more people aware of that album because, man, I don't do this too often, but like that was one of the best things I've written probably ever. That album's badass, and I really want more people to hear it because that's just a damn good album. So those are the pros and the cons for me.
Did you get the vaccine?
Yeah, I personally got vaccinated. I'll be honest, man. I don't even know why it's like such a. I don't know why it's like such a hot button. Well, okay, part of me, because they did get it out kind of fast, so I could understand the nervousness there. But why not? I mean, you got hundreds of thousands of people dying out here. Why wouldn't you? Like, so yeah, I got it, and I got it pretty early, like almost as soon as it was available, and I've been good, didn't grow a third arm or extra toes or anything. So, hey, I'm doing okay. Now I did, it sucked I didn't get any mutant superpowers. That'd have been cool. But, well, still normal human being.
Didn't turn into an X-Men or a mutant.
Yeah, I was hoping for my Wolverine regenerative powers there, but
I want to have one more question.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned the mixtape you dropped.
Okay, yeah.
Touch on that.
So I had me and Super dropped Afrofuturistic, but my brain's always going, just churning all the time, and I knew I wanted to do more. So I had been in talks with College of Hip Hop Knowledge, Jason and Big Mike and them, and they were like, man, they wanted me to come aboard and join the family. So I signed a deal with them, and I started working on an album. But I was like, okay, I need to keep the buzz going and keep the push going. I know it's going to take me a minute to get this album done. So I put out the next series in a mixtape the Frat House Gang did called Bars. So I did the first one, Bars 1. Casanova did Bars 2.0, and so I put out in April. I put out on 420. I put out Bars 3.0. It's a collection of unreleased music that I never dropped before. I might have performed it, but never like put it on anything. A couple of older gems, and then some new stuff. So I put that out. That's available right now on my Bandcamp page. You can download it for free, or you can leave me a couple bucks, up to you. Yeah, I'm really proud of that one too. And I'm gearing up for my album, The Kush Doctor, and that should be dropping pretty soon.
All right, Casino, it was good having you here. Thanks for stopping by. I'll let you end it off with any plugs or any shout outs.
Shout out to my Frat House Gang family. especially Chef Greasy, my engineer, does all of my mixing, all of the good stuff behind the boards. Dat Boy Super, Ferrari, Legacy, the whole fam. What's up to everybody? Of course, my kids. What's up, kiddos? Shout out to my new label home, College of Hip Hop Knowledge. Man, there's too many of y'all for me to try to name right now, and then y'all be like, you didn't say me. So what's up, everybody? I'm easy to find. Look me up, Casinoatx. Literally, like a lot of people say, Google me, and then it'd be like 5, 6 different names you got to look for. No, I'm easy to find. Casinoatx. Google that. It'll take you to all of my stuff: Spotify, Apple Tunes, you name it. All of my social media pages, or look up Partyville Mayor. Easy to find. Download my music.